So hi, good evening, guys. Welcome back to Sports Candle after a long time. We have again with Parth and Uddipta, the two fans from Northeast, but yeah, not today from a Northeast point of view. Today from an Indian football point of view, which has dipped down or sinked in, or they want to come back again. Like there are a lot of controversies and everything happened after this, season of ISL as well. So welcome Parth and welcome Uddipta again on the show. It's good to be talking to you again.
Thank you, Pramit, for inviting me again.
Yeah. And I think everything is safe over there, like in this difficult time of COVID.
Yeah. Everything is pretty fine. Everything is pretty good going here. So
Okay.
yeah, of course we have a COVID situation in Assam, but we are safe by God's grace.
Yeah. Like that has to be there. Yeah. So firstly, to start with, before we go with the Indian football thing, first we need to talk something about very important, which is the last, the game which we had yesterday about the Champions League. I just want you to, say about like what was the match about and how did you guys feel about that Chelsea won it. Yeah, Parth, you can start on that.
I actually am a Man City fan, so I wanted Man City to win this match actually, but Chelsea played, quite extraordinary football, and I expected more from Raheem Sterling, but I think this is something you have to do with final. You cannot like expect something which is not going to happen. So I wanted Man City to win, but it's a disappointment for me. Chelsea won. The best team won the game.
Yeah, Uddipta.
Yeah, it was a close match actually, and I was not particularly rooting for any particular team because I'm a Real Madrid fan. So I was, partially hoping that Chelsea would lose, but yeah, they played really well. I think the game was really close. It was just a 1-0 scoreline, so it tells you a lot of things. I really like the Chelsea's, calm and composure on the ball. They're very calm. They utilize whatever the opportunity they've got, and we all have to feel for Pep Guardiola and Sergio Aguero especially. It's been a really hard time with them for Man City as a whole.
Yeah, definitely. So look, now we'll move to the Indian football part. The first thing which I would like to ask you is, since the past few days, which we can see in the news that Stimac is not happy with few things happening around the World Cup qualifiers and everything. So firstly, tell something about that. What are you feeling about that? That the team, like we will only get one session to practice, which is really not not acceptable. But nothing can be done here. Like the management has decided that India will get only one session, and this quarantine and everything has got a deep root into the problem. So please tell me something about that.
I think first of all, Igor, whatever he had said in this press conference, I think it was a bit too harsh on Qatar Football Association, because you have to see that they are going to host the World Cup next year, and as reputed player and a coach, Igor is, his words can influence a lot of people. He's a renowned player and a coach, and he came up and said that Qatar Federation is not providing me this, not providing me that, and there is this problem, that problem. So it harms Qatar's image. They were already facing backlashes for a lot of reason for hosting the World Cup. The health condition of the workers and all. So I think, yeah, it is true that he is facing problems, and it is not really a good scenario for him to be in, because I think his job is on the line. He's just been offered a 3 months contract extension, so it tells that the committee is not really looking forward with him. So yeah, it may be true, but it is said on a very long time, especially given the fact that India is going through such a troublesome time, and it's very difficult to host a camp in India. We are lucky to get invited in Qatar for the camp, but yeah, his comment might be disturbing for some people.
Yeah, there is a saying in English word: fault finders will find fault even in paradise. So that's what I want to say to Igor Stimac, because these are just excuses, and I think Qatar Football Association did like whatever it is best for Indian football team. They just cannot allow them to play friendlies. It's too much health risk factor, And I just want to question All India Football Federation what they are doing, because like Indonesia is playing friendlies, Afghanistan is playing friendlies, so we should have arranged friendlies a bit earlier. You cannot expect to go in another country and like they will
Okay,
give
yeah,
you a green
yeah.
card to go
That's
ahead.
it's a very good question because yeah, Indian Football Federation should have like AIFF should have done something in that they should have done some practice over here, some camps over here because look, I don't think, as Udipta said that the situation in India is not really good, but the point over comes serious like FSGL in ISL, like the company which organizes ISL, they are very sure and they have said that we hosted two ISLs in the mid of COVID and we have done it very well. So if we get the opportunity again, and if the COVID situation is there, we will again try and do that. And they have also made up the biggest statement, which I will come back in the end of the conversation because that is one of the most important questions and one of the most important conversations to be done with this about the ISL and FSL and each sort of thing. But now tell me one thing. We had a talk last in the past season also that what was doing what Northeast did really well. Northeast came back, as Uddipta said. I remember Uddipta said that we are hoping to come back. So that hope did change, and that hope definitely came back. But
Yeah.
after this ISL, there were a lot of questions about the quality of the game again. Like this wasn't there an year back, like in the 2020, sorry, 1920 season. It was everyone was telling it was a very good season. Indian football is growing, but suddenly when the FIFA rankings again came in, again India like when played, some international friendlies, they lost, and all these things when happened. Questions again came on that what is ISL doing? Then is the ISL, the module of the ISL is right, or was I League again, the benchmark? So this is the question again came up, and the I League owners, we all know that they gave a lot of statements about okay, we don't care about ISL, but yeah, the owners like I think Gokulam Kerala and everyone, these owners, they said okay, no, ISL is something which is good, but we think that I League is much more prestigious than that, and we will stick in ISL and all sort of things. We heard from a lot of clubs, they came back in ISL when they got the money. So money is the factor. Nobody can realize now. They will realize if they get the chance to come in. But the point over here is, what about Indian football? Is Indian football growing? Because 105, I think 105, we are standing at the FIFA rankings currently, which got published 2 days back. So where are we standing? Like, won't we come under 100? Because the process is on. Everyone, we also told about the process is on. It will take time, but time will change. As we saw Northeast this season, time changed, but this is taking a bit too long. This is taking a bit too long, and I think there are a lot of questions about selection of the players, as Arindam Bhattacharya, one of the goalkeepers from ATK Mohun Bagan. Yes, he was from ATK Mohun Bagan, but he played decent well and he played really well. I don't see Dheeraj Singh coming in, in the team, and he's not getting a chance, which is very disappointing because he was one of the best goalkeepers of the season, and not only this season, last season also he did really well. So he should have given he should have been given the chance. So why not he? Why we are lacking to take some players which should be taken? There are players who were left out due to no reason, just due to no reason. So what are your takes on that part?
I think first of all, I think it would be unfair to judgment the quality of football just because of ranking. I think yesterday or day before, Italy was playing with San Marino, and San Marino was considered as one of the worst team in FIFA. They have 210 FIFA ranking. But the thing is that there is a big difference in football quality between India and San Marino football team. They continuously plays with top clubs of Europe. So I don't think that we should focus on ranking so much, but talking about the overall development of Indian football, I think there are no excuses in football. You cannot expect India to be a footballing powerhouse within minutes, right? It will take time to develop. It may take 10 years, it may take 15 years, but it will take time, and you will never get short-term results in football. And regarding the recent scenarios, regarding the recent results, I think there is only one man have to be blamed, and that is Igor Stimac. The way he leaves some good performing players, and his squad selection is very much criticizing, to be honest. And I think if you have to blame one person, it has to be Igor Stimac. There is nothing to do with ISL. There's nothing to do with ranking. It has to be just him.
Yeah, that I understand. Yeah, Udipta.
See, quality of the national team, means the ranking of the national team, you cannot blame it on ISL completely, because we are going through a transition phase in ISL. We used to have 6 foreigners on the field. Now we are going through 3+1 rule
Yeah.
come next season. So it will hamper the pace and the attacking ability and everything. On a broader way, but it cannot have the effect on the national team. You see, the coach has given 36 players there in the starting lineup. 36 players is not a joke when you talk about the national team, and that is to on the starting 11. I'm not even saying benching or something. The starting 11 players. So it tells you that there is no communication, there is not enough gelling between the players. And if you rotate a squad, on against a team like UAE, what would you expect to happen? You're rotating heavily squad every single match. You're gonna rotate your team every single squad selection. You pick up new players. You cannot expect anything other than that. I think what you said, to reach top 100, if Igor Simax continue, I don't think it's really possible in next even 5-6 years, I will say,
Yes. Yeah.
because he's selecting players after players, and I'm shocked that he's yet to find his not, let's say, let's give him the excuse of COVID situation and all, but still is yet to find his starting 11. That is really shocking. And when you don't play a certain team for like 2-3 matches continuous, then it really hampered the growth of the teams, the performance and all. And regarding the squad selection, I think he have realized that doing those experiments won't really help him, since his job is on the line. So he had gone with his trident testing. I don't know what's up with Arindam Bhattacharya. I think he could have been called up. It's not like he's gonna
I
play
don't think so.
anyway.
He could have been called up. I don't see Dheeraj Singh coming in any point of view. He went to go in the
No,
mid
no.
season. Look, he went to go in the mid season. He didn't play for the last 2 seasons. He didn't play. We didn't see him play in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hero as a, and
Hmm.
he played, I think, 10 matches, 12 matches. He played well. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he didn't play well, but this guy played
Hmm.
20, like this guy played whole season last, like all the matches last season, all the matches this season, but he's not getting a chance. So he will feel right.
You know what I
He will feel
think,
that.
that I think that Igor Stimac, what he is doing is, we all know Gurpreet and Amrinder are number one and number two choice for the goalkeeper,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the third choice goalkeeper is just for the show, right? So I think Arindam Bhattacharya is, since he's on the wrong side of the 30s, I think he wants to give Dheeraj the experience of being in the national team, to give him that kind of trainings and all. I think this only makes sense. I don't see why Dheeraj has been picked up otherwise.
So in that matter, if I consider that there is a player in our Indian cricket team currently whose name is Surya Kumar Yadav. The way he debuted like against England and Joffrey Archer the first ball six, he should have been given the chance because he's above 30. So why Indian team gave him a chance? And no, I am saying about one thing. I'm saying on one thing. Everyone is now talking about. Everyone criticized Indian cricket team also that okay they didn't play players, they were focusing on one each player. Now what they are doing is they're like if you're playing good you will be in the team, if you're playing bad you will be out of the team. That's the only concept they are focusing on, and they have a fixed squad in it because they are backing some players. Now in Indian football there are few players who are getting back, but as Uddipta said, each match you're changing like hell. You're changing all the 10
Yeah.
players at a match, and you're keeping one man common, and that one man has only played 2 games before. So what will he do? What will he deliver to you? What will he deliver to you?
And then the
He
worst
can't deliver. Yeah.
and the worst thing is that he is judging a player with a 90 minutes, on the basis of 90 minutes.
90
You cannot
minutes.
judge a player on the basis of 90 minutes, man.
What are the
That's not.
practice sessions for? What are the practice sessions for? Does he sleep in the practice sessions? Like he should see what his players are doing, right? That's the main focus.
Yeah.
Now coming back to one more question, like if you see the situation in Indian football, they are picking up 30 man in like 30 strength squad. Now 30 players are going. Now this is a big amount. Okay, 30. Now as if we consider that he is a coach and he's getting a lot of problems in his mind. Okay, whom to select, whom not to select, whom to give chance, whom not to give chance. Okay, how to rotate, how not to rotate. Now just tell me one thing here very clearly, that if he is selecting the players in like this manner, okay, so shouldn't he pick a squad of 20 or 22 or 24 maximum, whereas he can, keep a faith in his players that okay, these will be the players whom I will back, whom should play, and they will, continue to play for India in the next couple of years. The roadmap should be clear like this, I think. Now Parth and Uddipta, you will say, no, Parth, you started with this.
I think like what Igor is doing is like I don't understand his tactics, his whatever he's doing. I don't quite understand it because you have selected a lot of players. Like this is you're just giving them the exposure. You're trying to giving them the exposure or what? I don't know. But I think 30 plus is a very big number, and it should be reduced to 24 or 22. I don't know. I didn't understand his tactics, like why he's selecting 30 plus members, and he shouldn't do that because I think in national team you're going for a World Cup qualifiers. You want the best players. You don't want all the players in it, whoever like best performers. So I don't know. I don't understand his tactics. It's quite out of my mind.
Yeah, Uddipta.
I I I actually don't find a particular tactics in his style of play, because we have played defensive football, we are playing long ball footballs, we are playing direct footballs as well. We are keeping the ball on our own half, not even on the opposition's half. So and he comes out in the press conference and say we want to play the beautiful football and this football and that football, but on the pitch it never happens what he says. So I don't know what he actually wants to do. And the 30-man squad is yeah, like Parth has said, it's really a huge number. I too don't see that why you need to bring that much of players. And yeah, the world, he has been unlucky with some injuries as well, like Saidon Fernandez missed out, Ashutosh Mehta missed out. Now the worry thing is who's gonna play as a right back, because we have only two right backs, that is Pritham and Rahul Beke, and I don't have any faith in both of them. So yeah, we'll have to see how the following three matches go.
Yeah. Now, coming back to the next question, like whom do you see in this current 30-man squad to play at least, for the next 3 years as a, fixed player in the squad, like Sunil Chetri does, like Sandesh Jingan does, like Gurpreet does. Okay. So, or like I can only name these three because I see everybody changing apart from this. Sunil Chetri, Jingan, and Gurpreet. These are the three common names which might come in, and currently the situation is these three are also not playing. Someone else is playing as a common player and who has only got the experience of 3 to 4 matches. So this is a thing which is happening in Indian football. So now, which are like one or two players you want to see on that part?
I want to see Akash Mishra in the team for the next 3 years. Like he's been a terrific player in the
So not only
Indian
in the
Super
next
League
3 years,
this
and
last.
like not only for the next 3 years, at least playing consistently in the playing 11. He should get the chance
Yeah,
of
that's what
playing.
I'm telling. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Akash Mishra is one of them, and another is Apuya. Like these two players really impressed me a lot regarding their playing abilities and regarding their ball control, the dedication towards Indian football, whatever it is. I think I want to see these two guys continuing for Indian football team in the upcoming years. I think, and they will do it definitely because they have that potential to do so.
Deepta.
I have few names in my mind, like Anirudh Thapa. He has to be the future captain of Indian national team. And I love Anirudh Thapa, the way he plays and all. Then the next player is Manvir Singh,
Definitely.
the probably the one and only informed striker we have right
Striker.
now. Yeah, and like Parth say, Akash
Akash
Mishra
Mishra.
is one for the future. And Apuya, man, I'm not just saying because I'm a fan of Northeast United FC, but this lad has something special in him, man. The way he drives, take the ball to the opposition, the way he intercepts the ball, the tackling, he has a complete pact of for a box-to-box midfielder. Maybe
Yeah.
his passing, this shot taking is a bit lacking, but I think other than that, he's a complete prodigy. I mean, I have watched this Oman game when he came off as a substitute, and I think an Omani player was taking a throw in. Yeah, Omani player was taking a throw in. He was literally showing like this. to Sunday to I don't know who it was. He was like pointing him to go there, mark that guy. He has a leadership capability, and I'm really amazed to see that guy, and I really hope he plays there and stay there for maybe like 5 6 years to come, and I'm sure he can. And India is so lucky to have such a branch of
Young
talented players in the
footballers. Yeah,
defensive.
in
Yeah,
the young talent. Yeah. One more player, I
yeah,
think there, like it is my personal choice because I saw him play really well. Yeah, he's not consistent enough, but he should be. He will be consistent if he gets a matches and if he gets a lot of play time. But I think Distant Kolasu can also be one of those midfielders who can really trouble any of the teams because when he gets in, that is very much like when Manvir gets in, it is very much tough to stop him because he can hit the ball really hard, which I think Robin Singh used to do this when he was very much in a form. So Manvir Singh can do
yeah,
this, and I think Liston Kolasa, like the way he dribbles and like the way he gets into the box, that is very different from ways the midfielders of India do. Because we see a lot of passes, but he can drive the ball alone. And when he gets in alone, if someone giving a backup, then the goal can happen. He might be one of those players who can be given a lot of chances or can be made. Like look, you have to make the players also. Every player will not be as talented as Anil Thap or Apuya, but you can make some players. Okay, these are the players you can make them. Which I think if any other good coach can come in and they can do that, we don't know who will be coming in the next Indian football. I think someone who can know about the Indian football. So this will be my next question. Whom do you see coming in as an Indian football coach who knows Indian football? First of all, someone who has to know the Indian football, and I don't see AIFF not picking up coaches from the ISL batch because these are the coaches now for the past 7 8 years. They are seeing the Indian football. They know what Indian football is doing consistently. They are with the Indian team, like Indian players. They know the mindset. They know how to make them play, how to build them up. Like we can see the players like who are getting built up, like Apuya, in the guidance of Khalid Jamil or Gerard knows anything what you can say. If you see the players of Bipin Singh, like how he played for Mumbai City this season. So Sergio Lopera made him play like that. So that attacking football. So all these things matters. Whom do you see that Indian football should take? Because it's a question like Indian football is taking someone from out of the box and they are coming. They are first thinking, okay, this is ISL happening. Oh, this is I League. I League getting. There are good players in I League who are not getting chances. They said no, we'll pick first from ISL. The players from I League needs to come to ISL. Now this is a big problem which is also coming in Indian football. But yeah, this will be cleared, I think, in the next couple of years. But whom do you see as a coach? Yeah, Uddipta first.
First of all, that AIF has a really big problem with someone who speaks against them
Yeah,
or a person who speaks directly from his heart. So I don't think any coach who speaks directly from his heart would be appointed. And I also don't think an Indian will be appointed because I don't know, they don't have guts to appoint an Indian coach.
they will not.
Uh, uh, yeah, the coaches like Elko Shatore, he has proven himself over and over at Prague, at East Bengal, at Northeast, and at Kerala as well. Kerala, he was so unlucky with the team he had got. If he hadn't had that much of injuries, I'm sure they would have qualified for the top four that season. But yeah, coaches like him are really good who are through and through on Indian football. They know Indian football, they know Indian players, the league structures and all. But unfortunately, they're too straightforward, and our federation doesn't like straightforward coaches. Maybe Carlos Quadra type of guy can be good. He also know a thing or two about Indian football. But you have to see that whoever coaches comes, he will try to imply his own philosophy, his own preference of football. Now that things actually hurts when it comes to our national team because we have been playing the defensive style of play like hold on to 65 minutes, try, like some philosophers also say that try to keep the margin as low as possible
Possible.
with the score line. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have been playing that kind of football now. Though suddenly, if a coach comes and says, say, "No, we're gonna play the brand of the beautiful football," like Stimac say, it's not possible overnight. No, our junior team, let's say our the AFC under 17 Asian Cup players that reached the semi-finals, sorry, quarterfinals, they also had less possession. Like on an average 30, 34, 40, 44% of position they kept. And they are our future. They are coming from the rank, and they are not being able to keep the ball. So how can we expect that our current national team, who has been playing defensive football, long ball, the rag ball football, how are they going to cope up with that kind of style of play? So whoever may come, I hope that they don't just try to imply their own philosophy. They have to see how our players are, how they are performing, how what qualities they have, what are their pros and cons, and then he decides to take steps according to it, because club football and national football are
But
completely
completely
different thing. In
different.
club football
Yeah.
you have the help of the
Foreign, yeah, yeah, foreign
international
players.
players as well.
International players.
Yeah,
Obviously.
it's different.
Yeah. But
I think whatever the coach AIFF may appoint, he should have good knowledge about Indian football. Like we saw in case of Stephen Constantine, he knew about the players, he
yeah,
developed
yeah.
a quality of player, and they delivered results. They took us to Asian Cup. They nearly qualified for the round of 16. So I think we need coaches like Stephen Constantine who understand football. So if you talk about the next Indian football coach, I personally want Sergio Lobera as a next Indian football coach, but I don't think this is going to happen because he's already under contract, and I don't think this is going to happen. But
No, no.
we need coaches who understand Indian
Sorry,
football.
sorry to interrupt in between, but not only for the contract. I think the like federation can afford him. That's a first question, because he's a very he's a very high quality coach, and the amount of fees which he will charge, I think federation won't be able to give him for a year. I think that's, and not only for a year. I was also thinking Lobera, because if he comes in, like Uddipta said, like he knows what to do, so he will do in his own way. But yeah, it is very tough. But yeah, it's a very good choice, Sergio Lobera. Apart from
Yeah,
him,
so Sergio Lobera was one name that was in my mind, and you can go for Khalid Jamil, someone like, because he also knows about Indian football.
Indian
He
football,
won the I
obviously,
League.
obviously.
He delivered good result in Northeast, so I think he's another. And he himself said that he wants to coach Indian football team. He's ready. So like you can go for him. But whoever he is, he should have proper knowledge about
Proper
Indian
knowledge
football.
of
You
football.
you
Yeah,
cannot
definitely.
pick someone out of the blue and give him the opportunity. This is not going to happen. And I
I
think
think,
the
yeah,
AIFF
please. Yeah, yeah,
the
please.
AIFF president need to the All India football president need to have good knowledge about football, because few years ago he tweeted something like that India hope to qualify for 2022 FIFA World Cup. So he tweeted like that in 2018 or
19,
17, I
18,
don't know, but
18, yeah, yeah, he tweeted
yeah,
something like that.
he, he's dreaming that
Indian football is
unrealistic
all
dream.
about the Twitter polls. Who can win the Twitter polls?
Yeah, the
That is
engagement.
Indian football.
That happens. No, one more thing is here very important is whoever comes in. Okay, I think if he's not from the Indian circuit, he doesn't know. He's been picked up and he's been put up in the role. Okay, you are the Indian coach now for the next couple of years. Okay, first of all, this couple of years I don't understand, because I think the coaches should be given at least a contract of 3 years, because it is a time-taking process. You cannot tell a coach go fire and get goals and get win matches and get into the World Cup, like Parth said that he dreamt about 2022 FIFA World Cup. So that is very much impossible to ask for. That is very much impossible. And we can see in the Hero ISL only. It's a club game. We can see that a coach is who comes, and if you don't give him a chance, they cannot deliver. They really cannot deliver. So you have to give them a chance. So that's the point. So now coming back to the point is, like, we are growing, we are coming up, but like I will end the session with this important point and with this very important thing, which is related to football, which is related to a lot of things, and something to be proud of Hero ISL athletes, which I am in a bit of thing. And not only I am, I think the FSGL guys are very much proud of, which I said you in the beginning of the conversation, that we saw two, like Hero ISL, I think the playoffs happened in Goa when 2020, when the COVID came up. So they did it in the closed covers, and then after this outbreak, after that, this season they did it in Goa, and which was very beautiful, and which was, there was no hassle, there was no problem, everything was quite good, and we saw the Hero ISL going up very smoothly. Now this is the point I want to speak. IPL happened. IPL started this season in India. Last season it happened in UAE, and this season it happened in India. When IPL happened, everyone was really, first of all shocked that okay, it is starting in the mid, when like it is starting on the time when we had the surge of cases going in very high. Mumbai was suffering. The matches went in happening in Mumbai. Delhi was suffering. Then we saw in Delhi matches are happening, and then the outbreak came. So this is a very big point. Some officials from FSGL stated after the outbreak of IPL that if we would have done the IPL, it wouldn't have been the situation which is happening now. And there were a lot of problems, a lot of criticisms happened, and a lot of players from Australia they commented that they felt safe when they were in UAE. They didn't feel safe when they were in India. These kind of comments when the foreign players were they stayed in at least of 6 to 7 months in India while Hero ISL happened, they didn't say anything that we felt something like that. Do you see ISL happened in one city in 3 stadiums, and which is the traveling was less, everything was very less. There was no traveling only at all. Do you see that these kind of things like are not in control of anyone's hand? So IPL made a mistake. The organizing committee of IPL made a mistake of happening, traveling so much, like from Mumbai to Delhi, Ahmedabad, and all these things happened. But ISL didn't, and that's why they were so cheered up that okay, we did the ISL, such a big tournament, but nothing happened because we stayed in one thing. What do you think that these kind of things should not happen, as it hampers the sports whole culture of the country? Because now we can see a negative vibe among everyone that okay, IPL, oh my god, this thing happened. Now if some people were not following ISL, they are following because these kind of tweets coming in. Look at ISL, nothing has happened. So what are your views of it, Parth?
I think FSDL, Star, and All India Football Federation did tremendously good job by organizing ISL in such a manner. They protected the players very well, and I think this is something we all should, appreciate All India Football Federation. Although, like, we are criticizing the federation from time to time,
that is for football. But that is for football. That is for
yeah,
football.
that is for football. Yeah. But this is something we should be proud of actually. And speaking about IPL, IPL should have hosted in a particular city or particular state, because you cannot afford to travel like on a regular basis in under such circumstances. And that's what I think IPL is again going to be held in UAE from September, and that's what they're like hosting it in another country. But in India, I think they should have hosted in particular place like the Indian Super League. And to be honest, ISL is not that long as, or IPL is not that long as ISL. I think Indian Super League is the longest running sports league in the country. And despite being the longest running league, we like the FSDL organized it pretty well. So I think we should also appreciate the players who admitted the COVID protocols and who stayed in their bio bubble, do not breach it like unlike some IPL players. And I think everyone who is involved here deserves their credit.
Nobody breached it. As the reports are, nobody breached it. It was Varun Chakravarti who left the bio bubble, but he was instructed to go because of some problems. So nobody breached it. But the point is, like Parth said, it's a very good point. This same star team did the broadcasting for ISL for the 7 months or 6 months, and for the 5 months or 4 months, nothing happened. And this same start team got COVID struck while they were in Mumbai, while they were in Delhi. Like Delhi, the whole management, it came up very after a very long time that the guys who were broadcasting, the broadcasters actually, every day, like each match we saw in Delhi, every day there was a new broadcasting team came in, because everyone, well, like if there's a match today, so me and my whole team was affected. Next day, like a whole new team came up to broadcast it, because everyone was affected each day. So that was a huge problem. This just didn't happen in the ISL, which was the longest running league. Uddipta, now you can say on
it. I think we criticize FSGL for many things, especially the promotion, relegation, the roadmap thing. But credit where it dues. Now, we have to give all the credits to FSGL and even AIFF for organizing I-League second division, I-League and ISL.
In Kolkata.
In Kolkata. So credit where it dues. To be honest, I don't follow cricket that much, so I don't know how or what happened in IPL. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's good that ISL happened and it happened in a secure way. But like Parth has said that they were traveling from cities to cities, and I think there is no logic to go city to city in this kind of situation. Where suppose Mumbai is Mumbai is having such a difficult time at that point of time,
Yeah, at that point
and
of time.
then you go to Mumbai, then again travel back to Chennai. It really difficult. It really difficult, and you have to see that when ISL started, the condition was much worse than when IPL actually started.
Yeah.
So you have to give credit to the team members, the staff members, and everyone who stayed in the bio bubble, who was involved in the bio bubble. I was in the home quarantine for 14 days because someone of our family got COVID positive. So I was in a home quarantine for 14 days, and I was so pissed off for
Stuff.
staying for 14 days in my
14 days.
room. And I cannot imagine the players who were staying in the
Staying in
hotel
the
room
Bible.
for three
Yeah.
4 months.
Months.
Yeah, so and
Definitely.
they didn't even complain. No, none of them complained that I am having this trouble or that trouble. So
Yeah.
you have to give credit to FSL for organizing ISL at such a different time.
Yeah. No, look, I picked up this point because the important thing is Indian players and Indian players, they know their home conditions and everything. But the foreign players should not complain that okay, these things happened. Like there were IPL players from outside like foreign players, like few players from Australia who actually complained that we didn't feel safe because each and every team, like in a hotel, there were 4 teams. So that was a very difficult point because the staff members should be appointed each of 4 teams, like at least 80 to 90 members in each team. When you calculate how many staff members could be have been required in each shift. So that's a very tough point. So this is really difficult times and all these things happen. But yeah, on a good note, we think like last time Uddipta said, Northeast could have done better, and they did it. They came back really stronger. So we can see that if Indian football does well and ISL is again coming up, we will again definitely meet before the ISL reaches a win. Now the first East Bengal controversy should get out. I think a big club
Yeah.
who clubbed in, but now looking to club out again. I don't know what will happen to them. Nobody knows. They're waiting for a lot of things. So let's see what happens. It was nice talking to you, Parth. It was nice talking to you, Udipta. I hope to meet you again very soon for the Hero ISL, coming up. And also, I think we will meet for the Europes. I will let you know for that. Euro Cups.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking
Okay.
forward.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.